Hey guys, what's going on? It's another random gamer, and I really just wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch. It's coming out March 3rd. A big console, big opportunity for Nintendo, and a big disadvantage. If this goes wrong, Nintendo's over. So the biggest gripe in my mind of the Nintendo Switch is its price. $299, not a massive price to swallow for a lot of people, but at the same time, you can find the base PS4, the base Xbox One for a cheaper price on a sale at this day and age. So I don't really know if the price was well thought out by Nintendo. $250 would have been an amazing price. $250, £200 around then would be an amazing price point for the Nintendo Switch to really people to just pick it up, Walmart, Asda, just to pick it up and go with the console. Another big disadvantage I think that the Nintendo Switch is coming in with is the storage. 32GB in this day and age, 2017, is just, it doesn't really make sense. 32GB is what people demand from their phones and their tablets, not a home gaming system. There's some games day one that are coming out that are actually take up more storage space than the actual 26GB that you're going to be left with from the 32GB base storage pack. So I think storage wise, it's going to be a big problem for a lot of people. And also the fact that Nintendo is coming out with their digital only program like a PSN, like a Xbox Live. They really want people to get games straight from Nintendo themselves, cuts out the middleman. And it makes sense financially, but at the same time, who's really going to do that when there's only 32GB of storage? And yes, granted, you can use an SD card, but they're too expensive at this point in time to be a viable option for a large majority of gamers. So I think that's a big disadvantage for Nintendo, and they'll have to sort that out quickly. Also, a big disadvantage, I think this is probably the biggest disadvantage of them all, is the third-party games. You saw the conference. If you haven't, I'll leave a link in the description below of the conference that Nintendo came out with. There was no third-party games. Third-party games is probably what killed not only the Wii U, but the Nintendo Wii itself more than anything else. And without third-party games in 2017, you're not going to succeed when there's an Xbox One and a PS4 that have unlimited third-party support from every genre. Family-friendly games that the Wii was big on is on the Xbox One now and the PS4 that you can find. And you can also find the hard-hitting third-party games, GTA, Red Dead Redemption 2 that's coming out. There's no confirmation of these games coming for the Nintendo Switch. So I think it's going to be a big sell to try and gain people to actually go out and buy your console if there's not going to be third-party support. And that might kill the Switch dead in its tracks. But granted, there is a lot of disadvantages, but there's also advantages to the Nintendo Switch that sets it apart from its competitors. And the biggest is the hybrid console aspect. The fact that you can use this not only as a 1080p TV console, but also take it away and take it on the go on the bus with it, go in the train when you're going to work, means that it's absolutely amazing. And it could set it apart and make people think, I'm in the shop right now, why don't I get this? It's like a tablet, I can go anywhere. And that's what people are going to think about when they're going to pick this up. And I think the reason why the Wii U failed more than anything was that it was a similar idea, but in practice it never worked. You couldn't even go upstairs because of the interference with the Wii U between the walls. You just couldn't use it as a tablet machine. And in their conference, Nintendo came out and even said themselves that they've had this idea of a hybrid console for a very long time, 10, 20 years or even. So I think that aspect, it could really succeed. But we must understand that in the beginning, coming out, there's really no games. Not even only third-party, first-party games are really at a minimum as well. There's Zelda, which is probably going to be 2017 Game of the Year. I'm picking that up straight away. But at the same time, Zelda, and there's really nothing else. There's no Mario game straight out of the blocks. Mario Odyssey comes out in the summer, which is a long wait. And when you see all these first-party games and, some third-party games coming out in the summer, you start thinking, was this a summer console? And should they have released that in the summer? It might have been a smarter move. But the fact is, this new technology that they were developing, the console hybrid, they thought it'd get stolen, from their competitors, and they had to come out straight. And I think that's the reason why we're not seeing a plethora of games from Nintendo. You think they'd learned their lesson from the Wii U. The fact that it had no games at launch and later on never really actually had any third-party support was one of the biggest reasons for its failure. And I think if, the first 3 months Nintendo Switch's sales are good, then I think it will succeed. I think from then on it will succeed. And when the new games come along, the Mario Odyssey and hopefully the third-party games, we're seeing NBA 2K18, it will come out then. EA has gone down and supported the Switch with FIFA 18, announced for the Nintendo Switch to be coming out. But the fact that we haven't seen big third-party developers like Rockstar come out, it would have been amazing. But I'm not trying to rain on Nintendo's parade. I think I have equal amounts of excitement and disappointment, but we will never know until March 3rd when it actually comes out and people get their hands on it. A few YouTubers have had the benefit of actually having the Nintendo Switch. I wish that was me, but I'm just a new YouTuber, I guess. Yeah, and that's all I want to say. Hope Nintendo the best of luck, of course. And by the way, sorry for the bad gameplay of FIFA. If you want to see FIFA and actually buy it yourself or buy the Nintendo Switch, I'll leave links below in the description from Amazon to get cheap prices on it. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe and like to help grow this channel. See you later.